Guys, let's go through solving systems of equations. I left the four rules up on the board for you to follow, but today's worksheet is going to be a lot easier than yesterday's. I'm going to go through a couple of examples from yesterday's in a little bit, but I want to start out with something a little bit easier for you. Rule number one was to make sure one of the equations is solved for. In most of your equations today, you're going to have one of the variables solved for. So we're just going to work on the idea of substitution today. So we're going to take our y value and replace it into the equation where y is. And it's going to look like x plus 3x equals 8. So that's just the idea of substitution. We're working on that today. Now, get our algebra. 3x plus 1x is 4x. Collect like terms on the same side is equal to 8. And then divide everything by 4. And you get x is equal to 2. So that's rule number one. This is the three rules. Rule number one, make sure one of them is equal to y. Done. Or x. Rule number two is substitute in our value. So we're going to take 3x and plug it in. And then rule number three is to simplify and solve for the variable, which is x equals 2. Then we're going to take that 2 and we are going to plug it in for x. And let me pick a different color here. And we'll do y equals 3 times x, or 3 times 2, y equals 6. So our final answer is going to be the coordinate 2, 6. Let's go down and let's do one more on this, and then I'll do one or two more. Let's see which one. Oh yeah, let's do 8 here. Or sorry, number 4. Okay, so rule number one, get one of the variables solved for. Y is solved for. So now rule number 2 says take and plug in. So we're going to take 8 minus x and plug it in for y. The reason why I'm showing you this one is because of that minus sign out in front of y. So we're going to plug in and now distribute the negative. And then we're going to simplify and solve. So 2 minus 8 is negative 6 plus x. Add 6 to both sides and you get x is equal to 13. Now you take 13, I'm going to plug it in, y equals 8 minus x, so 8 minus 13 is negative 5. Your final answer is the point 13 comma negative 5. So most of your problems today should flow pretty smoothly because they're all solved for y except for number, where the heck is it? Oh no, number 6 is solved for y. I thought that was the only one that wasn't. So they're all solved for y. You just take and plug in. Alright, and now let's go to a couple, and we'll do number 4. Okay, so rule number 1 is solve one of the equations for either x or y. I'm going to solve the top equation for x because it's just a single old x up here. So it's going to be easy to solve for. All you have to do is subtract the 3y and you get y plus 3 equals x. So step 1 is done. I have one equation solved for x. Now, what some of you guys were messing up on yesterday is we just solved for x. So I'm going to take y plus 3 and I am going to go into the second equation and plug it in for x, not y. A lot of us were just doing that because you were looking at the work we did yesterday, the problems before, and we all solved for y, so then you just started plugging in for y. So we have 2 times y plus 3 plus 4y equals 18. Distribute the 2. 2y plus 6 plus 4y equals 18. Now this is the part where you guys got to be careful. The 2y and the 6y are on the same side, so you're going to want to combine and add them together. So we'll have 6y plus 6 is equal to 18. Now subtract 6 to both sides. You get 6y is equal to 12. Divide by 6, y is equal to 2. So, we just went through and found out what y equals. Alright, all that work, and I told you yesterday, all that work is to get one variable. And now you're going to take and plug in y plus 3 equals x, and you'll plug in the y value, and you get x is equal to 5. So our final point is 5, 2. Alright, let's take a look at, we'll do number 6. So let's solve that top equation here for x, because it's a single x on top. So we'll do, we'll subtract 4y to both sides, and so we'll have negative x equals 5, and then 2y minus 4y is negative 2y, and then we'll divide everything by negative 1. We'll get x is equal to negative 5 plus 2y. Now our goal was to get one of the variables by itself. We have x by itself. Step number 1 is done. Step number 2 says to take and plug in for that variable you solve for. Okay, so it's going to look like 3 times what x equaled, which was negative 5 plus 2y, plus 7y equals 24. You're going to distribute. Oops. I guess it won't let me erase it. So you're going to distribute. You get negative 15 plus 6y plus 7y equals 24. Then you're going to collect the like terms that are right next to each other. So we have negative 15 plus 13y equals 24. You'll add 15 to both sides. You get 13y is equal to 39. Divide by 13, you get y is equal to 3. So our goal was to solve for the variable, which in this case was y equals 3. Now we're going to take and plug that back in, so we have x is equal to negative 5 plus 2 times y, which was 3. And then you get x is equal to negative 5 plus 6, x is equal to negative 1. So our final answer is negative 1, 3. Alright, so get those done. You got, I don't know, I did another 2 problems today. You should have like 1 or 2 problems left from yesterday, and then today's worksheet. So good luck, and we'll see you guys on Friday.